Okay for record, right? Yay.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're live. Hi, Beth. How are you?
I'm good, Melinda. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just doing a little check here to see. It looks like I'm just doing a little check. Let me just do this. Here we are. Yay. All right, girl. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I am so excited. Beth Engerson and I are going to be doing a lip print reading. I've been talking about it this last couple of days on Facebook. I know Beth has posted it too. So if you are one of Beth's friends or part of her community, welcome to my page. If you are watching the replay, either on my page or when Beth posts it in her groups, please hit replay and let us know what you think. So we are just super excited to have this conversation. I'm a little nervous. Beth, should I be nervous?
No, not at all.
Okay.
So let me just go into like a
go for
history
it.
of what lip print reading is, or lipsology. Lipsology is the art and science of lip print reading, and it was founded by a woman named Jilly Eddy. And so it's based on over 10,000 lip prints, and there's 25 main categories and 125 subcategories. So yeah, it's a wonderful system. And there's only 9 certified lipsologists in the entire world. So it's like awesome, and I love doing it. So the way that I got into it was that I met Ariana Lightning Storm. She's a friend, she's my mentor, and was my teacher. And she is one of only 2 certified teachers in the entire world. And so I had met her through a friend. And the first time I met her, I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And then the second time I met her, she had the lip print of someone that was involved in breast cancer research or awareness or fundraising. And in the lip print was, you could actually see the breast cancer awareness ribbon. And so at that point, I was like, I got to know more about this. Okay. And so that's when I started studying.
Wow. Wow. And how many years has it been now? It's been a few years.
It's been a few years. I think it's about 5, 6 years, somewhere in that range.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And then you do individual readings, and you also do like groups. So someone could do like a party with you and organize it with you, even remotely. Like we're going to be demonstrating for everybody how easy it is to work with you remotely, right?
Exactly. Also do corporate events. So it goes into like a lot of different things that you can do with it. Recently did a birthday party. So it, and have done kids parties in the past, well, teen parties in the past.
Yeah, it's just a fun idea. It's really different. It's really unique. So when Beth and I got connected through our mutual friend, Deborah Lupien, the Akashic Records, I just thought it was so cool. And Beth said, hey, would you like a reading? And I was like, sure, I'd like a reading. And then about a day later, my intuition started to really kick in. And if you know me and if you follow me, you know that I'm a confidence and peak performance coach. And I talk a lot about using my intuition. And I really work with my coaching clients on developing their intuition. So kind of simmered on it. I didn't quite go, yes, Beth, right away. I kind of simmered on it. And all of a sudden it was like, hey, let's do it as a Facebook Live and see what happens. So here we are. And I know you have the actual print, right? perfect. And I had put it on, I took a picture of it, thank goodness, because then I used it in some of the promotions. So some people got a sneak peek. And it was kind of funny when I did it, I kissed the stock paper like you had said to do. And I was really surprised at what my mouth looked like. Especially if you're someone who, cannot, talk. Some people may say talk a lot. I don't know if I talk that much, but I definitely can talk. And then you see your mouth and it's kind of like this little round circle. It's like, oh, what does that mean? And how does that work? And then you and I were kind of dialoguing back and forth a little bit. And then I was like, wait, don't tell me anything yet. And you were so cute. You were like, oh my gosh, I was going to, and I had to stop myself. So yeah, so we've been like anxiously waiting to do this. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think?
Okay. So one thing I do need to tell you is that the lip prints are in and of that moment. It's kind of like a snapshot. And so what was true on that day, we have certain characteristics that are there no matter what, but there's other ones that do change depending on how much sleep we've had, how much we've had to eat, what we've had to eat, how much water we've had to drink that day. So it's really interesting. There is one question that I do have to ask. I know there's 3 prints and I'm going to show them in a second. So the only question that I have is which one was first, which one was second, and which one was third?
Ooh, that's a good question. So the middle one, I believe, was first.
Mm.
And then after that, can you hold the paper up one more time? Let me see if you don't mind.
It's there you go.
Yeah, then I'm gonna say it would be when you look at the piece of paper on the left
Mm-hmm.
and then on the right, I'm gonna guess. And I'm
Okay.
sorry I didn't number them. My apologies.
That's okay. So you like to have things very like orderly and symmetrical within like your comfortable surroundings, your home, your office. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm like a neat freak. I actually wish I were maybe a little neater, but and in general, yes, my husband would say for sure. I like say I want to put the remote control in that holder and this goes here. So there is a little bit of things there. Maybe I'd say like 80%, but if yeah.
Okay. So in terms of the roundness of your lip prints, you're very consistent. All 3 of your lip prints are almost identical size and shape. And so that reinforces the message. The size is what I would say between like small and medium, more on the medium side. And medium indicates that you're a busy juggler and you like to do multiple projects at the same time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I actually, it's funny when people give advice not to multitask. I'm kind of like, you know what? It really depends on how you are as a person, because I'm actually really good with juggling lots of things and I thrive off of that. So absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And you make it look easy to those outside of you.
Probably. It's just, and so much in personal development, in the personal development space is just how you are. So embracing how you are. And yeah, I do. I like to have like 5 different things going on and I get them all done. And yeah, so I think that's pretty accurate actually, for sure.
Cool. And one of them, the first one that you did, so that kind of indicates that it's like one of the more upfront characteristics, is that it has what's called like a mother hen. So the upper lip is coming outside of the lower lip. So the upper lip
Oh.
print is larger. So that generally indicates a person that is like a mother hen. And so whether you have children or not, you tend to mother those around you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I would say that. I would definitely say that. I've always, even though I never personally wanted children, let's say, I still feel very like good at, organizing, gathering. I have a lot of compassion and love. I mean, you could even probably see that with our 3 dogs because we have 3 little Shih Tzus. Like I kind of corral them. They all get taken care of. So yeah, I could say that even though I'm not a mom in typical children's sense.
Mm-hmm.
How
And
about you?
when your energy is quite high, towards the high side when you did that. Do you remember what it was like that day?
Probably normal. I would say I was excited, like, because I was excited to do this. So I did that right away after we spoke. So I could, get it in the mail to you. And yeah, I would say I probably, I am someone that is naturally energetic anyways, or I'm like just kind of a nice baseline. So it was probably like a 7 on, whereas I'm normally like a 5 or a 6 because we had just
Yeah.
gotten off the.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're good.
And you're kind of like an Energizer bunny, and you go and go and go until you can't go anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I'm a human design pure generator. Are you familiar with what human design is? Okay.
A little bit.
So yeah, so a pure generator is that person. And it's funny, even Deborah called me an Energizer bunny the other day. It seems to be the word everyone's calling me, which is fine. I've learned to embrace it over the years. Once I discovered human design and realized that that is just how I am, and I thrive off that. So anyhow, yes, one of the amazing things about being a generator, which is one of the human design types, and I infuse human design in my coaching. So if anyone is curious, it's a great thing. You can listen to some podcasts or read my blogs or reach out to me. But when you are a generator, you have energy to keep going. And then when you're done, you're just done. And you know that you are just done for the day, or you need to rest. And you have that capability within your system to be able to make that choice. So yeah, so I tend to have very full days. I naturally get up about 4 a.m. Naturally, I don't expect that of other people. That is just what I naturally do. And I naturally tend to shut off the computer about 7, go to bed about 8. So that's just kind of my natural cadence. So that would completely make sense within the realm of who I am, and then understanding human design and how I embody being a pure generator.
And it's funny that you say that, because you have like the energy, where you have that extra burst of energy when you need it. Does that make sense to you? And
Yes,
you can kind
yes.
of turn it on.
Yeah, I can keep going. So a great example with that is years ago when we were first starting our charter business. So my husband Ryan and I have a small business in the Florida Keys called Good Karma Sport Fishing. And when I needed to oh, it's on my here. It's on my main page. My husband's asking where the live is because he wants to watch it. So it's on my main page, just on my profile. So when we first started and he couldn't find a mate, a fishing mate, so a lot of charter boats have a mate on the boat, I said, I'm going to be the mate. We're going to save our money, get through this, automate the boat. And there were times that I was exhausted, but I was able to kind of be like, a marathon runner. You hear those stories that they can kind of step on the gas and just kind of hit that plane and just kind of keep going. I can do that too if I have to. it's not, every day. So, but I have had those times in life where I've been like, okay, I just need to get through this. So I call it putting my racehorse blinders on, and I can just kind of keep going to finish what we need to do. So that absolutely makes sense.
Um, there, do you mind if I ask a sensitive question?
That, go for it.
Have you had like a recent loss of some type?
Like a death in the family, or
Yeah.
no,
Or,
not at all, actually. I'm knock on wood. Yeah, been very lucky. No one. I mean, I have had serious loss in the past, but it's been 12 years and 11 years since those people
do you
passed.
sometimes still feel like you're healing from that loss?
Sometimes I think my brother-in-law's lot when my sister lost her husband, that was really, really tough. I mean, my brother passing away was tough for sure, but then when my brother-in-law passed away, I think that was even more tough. So sometimes I get a little sad about that, but
And
not
that's
every
coming
day.
through, but it only came through in one the lip prints, and it was the first one.
Oh,
So
wow.
maybe I don't know if you were thinking about one of them like around the time that you may have done the lip print.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm really close to my sister and my nieces, so sometimes thoughts just kind of come and go.
Mhm.
But I don't remember anything exactly. Is it like a line? Like, what can
Yes.
you say?
Um, so it is, I keep going the wrong way. The bottom lip print, that white line in the top that goes
Uh-huh.
almost all the way through it, that's
Okay.
what's called a gale mark. And it does show loss, but it can, as time goes on, um, gale marks generally like heal. So that's a good thing.
That is interesting.
And you don't have it in either of the other two. The so it's interesting.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I just popped for the one because I did them all simultaneously. I think I put more lipstick on, for each one, but I did them, within the moment.
Mhm.
So yeah. Hmm.
And so like as I said before, you're consistent. You're a fairly very cautious person. Does that make sense to you?
It, I've maybe becoming more cautious
Okay.
and have
Because
been working on that to be a little bit more discerning, using my intuition more over the past couple years, and maybe even a lot in the last year or so.
um and so like the first one is cautious, the second one is extremely cautious, and then the third one is like the first one. So what I generally say is that you're cautious and then you kind of second guess yourself sometimes, and
Mhm.
then you're like, okay, let me do this. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense a lot for sure. And that's kind of the same thing. I've gotten strong. It has a lot to do with just learning how to use my intuition. And
Mhm.
as my intuition's getting stronger and has gotten stronger, right? So just that evolution in the past couple years, I would say. And then I still hindsight myself. Like if I did make a choice on something that maybe I was cautious about, and then did make a choice because I wasn't getting an intuition hit, right? I was like, okay, well, or even with human design, like a sacral, like yes or no. And then you wait and then you still do it. And then after you're done, then you wonder if you should have done it or not. So there's a lot of that still that, I try to go through. And again, um, human design, understanding that I'm a 3/5 and my profile and how that fits in has really helped me work through any of that energy that I may have as far as like regretting something just really understanding it's a lesson for myself and to help others with too. So yeah, so that probably comes up. I can see how that would come up in the reading for sure.
And you know the things that you like. You're
Yes.
picky.
I am a little picky. I think anyone that goes to a restaurant with me would agree. But I try to be really, really nice because it's not on, the person. I'm just like, do you have Coke products? They're like, yes. I'm like, okay. So I kind of have my things. I don't like
It-
cucumber in my sushi. So
No, it's like more kind of, the things that you like, and like, it right off the bat.
yes. And I've always been like that. Like I can eat, like going shopping. I can be like a speed shopper. I'm like, I like that. I like that. I don't like that. I don't, um, there's lots of people. I've witnessed it even when I was in retail before I was a coach, women that's like look at something, and they can't decide if they like this pen, and they
Mhm.
labor over it for an hour. I'm like, it's a pen. So that is, yeah, definitely. I'll be like, I'll take the pen. Let's go. So yeah.
And before you make any um decisions or make any plans, you like to have like a couple of backup plans, whether it's a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I would say at least like a plan A or plan B,
Mhm.
especially with just, trying to be, let's say, more flexible or not be disappointed. It's just kind of nice to always have a backup plan. So I think that makes sense for sure.
And you're kind of in like a comfort food kind of place. And comfort food can be like anything that you enjoy and makes you kind of feel warm inside.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I would say because I released a significant amount of weight last year, so over 40 pounds. And now I really do a good job of managing to that without um, denying myself of something that I may like. So for example, when you say comfort food, the first thing I think of is I really like buttered noodles. I like
Mhm.
buttered noodles with some Parmesan cheese. So once a month I have my buttered noodles with Parmesan cheese. So yeah, I feel that everything in moderation. I actually
Mhm.
mentioned hot dogs the other day on my Facebook Live because I like cheese hot dogs. So yeah, like I think that you should, for me at least, it was important for me to learn how to eat healthier and to, bring my weight down a little bit, especially with COVID and getting older. But at the same time, like I'm still gonna have some buttered noodles when I feel like it. So I just don't have them every day.
And are you just like not really easily influenced by what other people think about the things that you say, what you wear, what you do?
I would say that's a good question. I would say I've always maybe been like a 50%er. And then I got up to like 75% not caring. And now I'm pretty close to like 100%. I really could give a rat's ass what anyone thinks anymore.
And that's
So yeah,
showing up in
this year. Good. And I hope to like inspire other people to do the same. So yes. So
and
it's a work in progress for people, to really be like step into themselves and where they feel comfortable. And there's so much energetics around that. And I think it's just really important. So everyone has to go on their own journey with that
Mhm.
over time. But yeah, I think when I turned 50 and I released my second book, Life and Love Lessons, I kind of was like, you know what? F it. Like, I'm just going to say what I feel called to talk about. And if I want to have my hair and makeup done and everyone wants to comment on my hair, well, so be it. So, I like having my hair and makeup on for videos. It's all good. So
So do I. So
good. Thank you, Beth.
and it's fun that like in two of your lip prints, kind of like if you can see the little things on the bottom, kind of look like little hands almost. And
Oh,
so that kind of tells me that you like to help people, which I know about you, but
wow. That's pretty wild. So that shows up at the bottom. I wonder if I can show this picture. Let's see, because I did pull up one of the, so it's like at the bottom.
yeah, it's on the go to the left, I think it is.
Okay, this way.
Right there.
Oh,
No,
wow.
towards the end. There you go.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
when you look at that, you see like little hands.
Or angel wings, yeah. So you're
Oh, wow.
angel on earth to other people.
Oh my gosh, I have the chills. Wow. Oh, that's really cool. Oh my gosh. Wow. Thank you.
What do you think about that?
I think that's really amazing, actually. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, for sure.
So you are when you did this, you're a little bit stressed. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, we had a lot going on and we still do, but now I feel that my husband and I are in a better place with it. And it wasn't anything, it was just a lot. When you just have like a lot going on, it's just like shit. It's like this, then this, then this, then this. So just one of those where, yeah, that's the best way I can put it when you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So maybe like if you feel yourself kind of in that same place, kind of do what some people call like a brain dump.
Mhm.
So it's just getting all of your thoughts kind of out on the paper. And then if there's something that kind of comes out that you need to like prioritize, if it doesn't need to get done, just delete it from your list. If it's something that you can delegate to someone else, just let them know what you want them to do and the kind of timeline that you want them to do it on. And then if you need to do it yourself, write it on your list and then just cross it off as you get done with it. And as your list gets smaller, you should feel lighter and have more energy for what you truly want to do.
I love that advice and I respect that advice. This was way, so I just cried and screamed in my car and that solved the problem.
Hey, whatever works sometimes.
This was beyond the list. This was me like getting pissed off at God. Like, what the fuck? And it's all mechanical stuff. So that's why I was like, I don't want to bore anyone with these details. It's mechanical shit. But I kind of talked about it in the Facebook Live if anyone wants to circle back and see the one where I talk about the hot dogs. But yeah, there's just a point of like, seriously, it's broken again. Which affects our business, which affects all these, it's just like it becomes a domino effect from like a piece of machinery. So when you're just at that point, I think just screaming and yelling in your car and crying is kind of a good thing. So
as long as you can get it out in some way that's won't do harm to yourself or other people.
Exactly.
That's a good thing. And that's the therapist in me talking. So
I totally know. So yeah. Yeah. So when the lists don't work, you've done that, like then just go in your car and scream and cry.
And I just have like one other thing, um, maybe two. Um, so are you working on like some kind of new project and people are not aware of what you're working on?
Oh, that's a great question. Maybe kind of. Why? What does it show? That's really funny.
So that my advice is for you is you might want to ask for some help. You never know who might actually, you might be surprised by who might be able to help you.
Wow. I'm kind of speechless right now. Were you in my house like about an hour and a half ago with my husband and I talking? Are
No,
you sure you don't have any bugs? Really?
nope.
All the way
This is
from where
all
you
for your
are in New York to the Florida?
this is all in your lip prints. And that's that dark line under this one, under that one, and then under that one. And it's consistent in all three.
Okay, people, you heard it here on Facebook. Stay tuned. That is crazy. From my lips. That is wild. OMG. I think I've heard it all. That top that. So wow. Yeah. Yeah. If Ryan, I don't know. I'm not seeing any comments. So I don't know if anyone is on. I have my iPad up so I can see that we're on, but I don't know. Maybe Ryan can text me if he's watching. Because I really can't tell. It's our first time doing Zoom and Facebook Live and having the both of us. So I've never done this before. So anyhow, but this is phenomenal. So, so if anyone is out there and you've typed something in the comments and I'm not like responding, it's really just because I can't see the comments. I just see my iPad and that we're live. So yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, I can't tell if anyone's watching or anything. Technical things.
And I
So
don't even
yeah.
have my phone in front of me to see if people are commenting.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd try it because I was like, well, I'll, bring it because at least I can see that it's going. And then I'm recording it anyways. So that's didn't record. That's so weird. It didn't record. Oh wow, one of these things. We got video. So yeah.
There's just one other thing.
Okay.
And that is that I see your spiritual side, and that's showing up in your lip print.
How does that show up in my lip print? I'm so fascinated.
It's very, very light in yours. So it's on the top and it looks like little fingers of a light coming down into the lip print. I don't know if you can see it.
Let's go back to share screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is it like up here? Can you see my mouse?
It's not really as evident it's generally in the middle.
Okay.
It's not as evident in that particular lip print as the other two, and it's very light.
Okay. And what does it mean when I have this? I have this dark.
That's a stress line.
That's stress? Okay.
Yes, all the white lines are stress lines.
Oh, wow. So if like I do this again, I don't have any lines, that means I have like no stress.
Well, yeah, exactly. There, as you can see, there really isn't that much in the bottom lip print, and it's mostly in the top lip print. And that's more stress that may sometimes like be a little bit more out of your control, but there is certain things that you can control. And that's why I had suggested that list.
Yeah.
And one thing I do notice, see the lines kind of on the outside, especially on that side. That I kind of see sometimes as like a person has certain thoughts, and it's something that they want to say, but they kind of stop themselves from saying. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think so. I think that kind of goes into the bucket of not caring. You know, when you were asking me earlier about not caring, because I do believe there's you know, always that point of like having a little mental back and forth about, do I say this? Do I not care? You know, just trying to like get a beat on that. That could be. I can't think of a specific example right now, but that could be. Yeah.
Okay. And there was I noticed that your upper lip print is thicker, and that generally um is someone that listens well.
Oh, thank you. I love being a good, I am going to say I am a good listener. So, yes, thank you. Thank you.
And generally you're a good communicator and negotiator as well. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I think I think I'm a pretty good communicator. And if I don't communicate well, I learned a long time ago, it's easier just to say you're sorry and like, if you know what I mean, and clean it up versus, you know, some people, this comes from my corporate background, you know, try to always scapegoat or finger point or put things under the rug. I was always like from the school of, you know, just apologize and clean it up and say, I'm really sorry. I could have been more clear. You know, anything like that, I think is really helpful and freeing mentally, instead of like going over and over the fact that you screwed up and you didn't own it. So that's just a little words of wisdom from Melinda. And then what was the second part of it? Was the communicator
and negotiator.
and negotiator. Yeah, I can't say I've negotiated any really big, you know, deal or anything, but I can hold my own and feel I have a clear vision on things in order to, you know, get to a place. So yeah. I always think back to when Ryan and I went to Mexico and went to a timeshare thing. Have you ever been to one of those timeshares where they convince you? Yeah. So I can hold my own against a strong negotiator too. So.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So how was this experience for you?
I'm like I have to say I'm really blown away. This was like amazing. Yeah. Really, really, really cool. Very cool. Thank you. Did it take you, because I know I sent you mine ahead of time because I wanted to make sure you had it and we could do this, you know, seamlessly. Not have that be something. I figure tech might be something, but not have, you know, you trying to view the image as a holdup. How long did it take you like to put your thoughts together? Any insight there?
I literally kind of, when you sent it to me and I got it in the mail, I literally kind of just looked at it for like a couple of seconds and then I put it away because I didn't want to like have like those preconceived notions until we sat down and I was in front of you looking at it.
Wow. So you really just did it on the spot.
Yes.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. So would you say, I mean, you have to have some intuitive guidance as you're doing this. I mean, you have to. I mean, how would you, I don't want to put more words in your mouth, but
I am a fairly intuitive person in terms of other people. And so I think just like years of doing this as well as being like a therapist and counselor. So you just kind of pick up on things sometimes.
Mhm.
Other things I may not be as intuitive. So I think it comes, with certain things.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know it was fascinating. I mean, for for real, like no joke, like for what Ryan and I were talking about during dinner in terms of saying asking if I've shared something that I desire. Like that's because I'm pretty open and I haven't like shared this one thing. So it's and my husband and I are on the same page with it. So that's pretty amazing. So that struck me. And then something else that you called out to really struck me. It'll come to me later. So, or maybe when I watch the recording. But yeah, it's really cool. Has someone read your lips before? Your lip
Yes.
prints? Okay.
So that
How
is
did
an
it?
interesting story, excuse the in and of itself. So Ariana, um, literally the week, like I think it was the week that my husband and I got engaged, she did a print reading for me and then said, hey, why don't you go home and get Scott to put his lip prints and then I'll take a look at it. And so we sent it to her and she's like, you guys are like really in sync. I almost couldn't tell whose lip prints were whose. And so this meant for my husband putting on some lipstick and kissing the piece of paper. And he's like, I have no idea how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's so great. And so what color did he pick? Was it red or pink?
It was like a lighter color.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, just give me a lipstick, and went into the bathroom, did it himself. And he's like, here.
Oh, wow. What a trooper. That's amazing. So what did
Yeah.
he think of the whole process? Like what did he, what was his thoughts?
Um, he was my guinea pig originally.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so he's like, got to think of, so for men, he's like, it's not the easiest thing to do. I don't know if there's like an easier way to do this, but it was a good experience once I got into it.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. No, that's really cool. When I was sharing about this live in Deborah Lupien's group, I think someone did say, what do you do with the man? And I'm like, yeah, I guess they put on the lipstick. So maybe
Mhm.
someday, yeah, I'll have Ryan put some on and if he's
Also,
watching, he's probably like,
red wine does work not as well as the lipstick, but
mm,
it can do in a spot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's really cool. And that's cool that you could, see side to side, how you guys synced up. That's really neat.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you have any surprises when you had your reading? Like anything that was like, wow, that came from that? Like you could see that?
For me, it was like the being a picky person. I had never
Mhm.
really thought of myself that way, and it's like, oh, yeah, in certain circumstances, absolutely. I know the things that I like right off the bat.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that's like part of the aging process and you know who you are as a person. But I have seen it sometimes in people who are younger as well. So I think it's just the person's personality.
Mhm. Mhm. And it's funny when someone says picky. I think picky, or I'll switch the word to decisive, is a
Mm,
really awesome thing to be. So
yeah.
if anyone out there is struggling with the word being called picky, if you've been called picky before and it's a trigger for you, I think it's fantastic. Like, you know how much time you save and energy and even money if you can make a decision and like make a choice and figure out what you want in life. I think that's like fascinating and really, really good. So Yeah. So here's to being a picky friend, Beth.
Yep.
Both of us.
I like the word decisive, and I think
Decisive.
I will use that in the future. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, we're both decisive. So I think that's really awesome. Wow. Wow. Well, anything else you want to share? This has been so fantastic. And then I think what we'll do then is recap it and do a podcast, kind of like take away. I'll watch the video again, get some more thoughts together, and then we'll do a separate like after the lip print reading podcast and have just a little bit more discussion because I think this was really, really cool. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And anybody can reach out to me either through Facebook on my personal page or through Kiss-Marks on Facebook, or go to my website and you can contact me through my website as well.
Yeah.
So any of those will work. And that's www.kiss-marks.com.
Perfect. Perfect. And I do hope people reach out, especially with the holidays coming. What a fun office party, like you had mentioned, or a birthday party, a bachelorette party. I think it's just a freaking no-brainer. So
Yep.
I love it. I love it. It's so awesome. And anyone out there that wishes to connect with me for private coaching or check out my website, my podcasts are there, my books. There's a course on showing up. So all the things are always on my website, beyondbasicscoaching.com. And yeah, that kind of wraps it up. This was fantastic. I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm blowing you a kiss.
And I'll blow it right back to you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye.